now age 48. Was that 30 years ago? Was when I started my journey to leaving Indianapolis to basically being on my own to become an adult and start my college basketball career here at Community College.
My name is Maggie. I'm married to the men's basketball coach that started in 1983, the same year Cheryl came to Kansas. I was very concerned about being in Western Kansas, or it was a cultural shock for me to come from Great Bend and to go from Wichita to Great Bend and then to come to the end of the earth, which we thought, but of course we're still here and I've grown to love it, and you love it or leave it, and yeah. I just love it, I guess. I was very disturbed to find out that all of the people that were here, it seemed, were older people, which of course were younger than I am now, but the only thing that kept me afloat was Cheryl and the other gals. Even though my husband coached the men's team and we were close to all the guy players, it was Cheryl in particular and Shay that kept me able to adjust to liberal. Cheryl and Shay, I will never forget, went with me in our little Chevy Cavalier to my mother's house in Chanute, and then to a tournament in Coffeyville, which it snowed, and we ended up staying even longer. We were packed in the Cavalier on top of each other. I had a girlfriend from Wichita that went with me, but we had a wonderful time, and that's when I really got to know her and appreciate her as a person.
Oh, okay.
She was a very sweet person. And by the way, she played basketball.
Okay. So you kind of just took them in, and they stayed with you and everything.
Well, they took me in, yeah.
They took
Whichever
you in.
way you want to view it.
They took you
we
in.
needed
Okay.
each other.
Okay.
One of the things that's important to know about what those teams did, including Cheryl, because she was a hell of a player, is they changed they didn't change it because it was so bad before. Mm-hmm. But they set the tone or the culture for athletics at Seward County Community College, and it's remained that way ever since. I mean, the women's side won a national championship undefeated. That coach is now the head coach at Oklahoma State University. But what they did was very significant, because the guys' team, we won the first regional championship second year, Cheryl's sophomore year in the women's. So, and they turned the women's program from just being awful to being very successful. Okay. But the most important part is, at that time we had no weekend meals, and it was the teams being together, the men's and women's teams getting to to have some camaraderie and be around one another, and some accountability with one another and what we were asking them to do. So it's a special situation, but the thing about it is, Cheryl's a great example now. 30 years later is what this place still means to her.
I mean, what was the talent pool here locally? I mean, at that time, it's just you had to just go out.
No, and at that time, the rules in the Jayhawk Conference were you were allowed 5 out-of-staters, so you had to do the best you could getting in-state players, and their 5 out-of-state players had to be Division I talent.
Okay.
It's still the same way, only now. I mean, we would I would recruit 6 and redshirt 1, something like that. Take a risk because there's always attrition.
Okay.
But the important thing, see, now they've changed the rule where 6 out-of-staters are allowed, and most coaches recruit 7 or 8, to redshirt or to make sure that they're going to be playing with 6.
Okay.
Because there are 19 community colleges in the state of Kansas. And so we've always made a joke that, if you're a high school basketball player and you can walk and chew gum, somebody's going to recruit you.
Okay.
But it's an interesting story, and there's a reason it's special to her. She deserves it. Obviously with you guys, has a wonderful family, and those are things that are lifelong.
I mean, how did you know of Cheryl? I mean, in Indianapolis. I mean, was she ranked as a player at that time?
And yes, and here was the thing. I only kept 2 players when I got here. The college was wonderful to me because they were so bad that they said, we'll let you do whatever you want. So I kept 2 players. One was an in-stater, and the other one was an out-of-stater.
Okay.
And the out-of-stater was Marvin Woods from Indianapolis.
Okay.
And so I wound up coaching all 3 of the Woods brothers. And so I kind of eventually, over a period of time, got an in into Indianapolis, and that was the whole thing, and just giving recommendations at that time, and from my previous job as an assistant over the years, I had a pretty good nationwide, pool contact of hey, where to go to, and coaches to get with.
Okay.
But there's a lot of times that's done by players, and that was Cheryl's situation, because it's one of those where, if you can get, we've got to have those kind of players. We got to have that talent level here.
Right.
So, and like I say, it made all the difference. I'm not sure that all of the players, I think the guys, we've talked enough about it, but I'm not sure all the players realize the impact that they made on this college.
Yeah.
Because it's, like I say, it's changed so much now that, this place, when I got here, was, we were stepchildren of the conference, and now, we're the top dog. And people don't like coming here. But anyway, we love her to death, and she was a huge impact. And it's you got to think about the significance of somebody coming to a 2-year community college and making that big of an impact, and still having a relationship.
Absolutely,
with coaches. 30 years later.
Are you going to come to the basketball preview tonight?
You know what? We may do that.
Tonight is the basketball preview. It's a fun thing for the girls and the boys basketball team. They do funny things. They do things that involve the audience with some kids. And Galen and Dr. Dunn, who is the president,
That's what I'm doing.
Dunn,
I'm going to go meet him. And
they did this last year for the first time. They have a contest in free throw shooting.
Okay.
And Dr. Dunn won last year.
Uh-oh.
And so he asked me to mention it this morning. And we were talking about it. I said, well, you ready? I said, you won last year, so, you're going to step back up to the plate. It was a lot of fun.
So is Dr. Dunn this way? Or you
Yeah, let me show you.
introduce me to him?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay, she would be so excited. She'll be at the basketball preview.
You may do have to see me.
Cheryl Jackson played basketball here years ago. They would like to meet Dr. Dunn.
Oh, okay.
I'm with Coach Reed and Maggie Sales right
Oh,
now. She just went out
yeah.
to fly out for you.
I'm good.
Excuse
How are
my voice.
you?
I coach
You've been
now.
yelling?
You do the yelling now.
Yeah, that's that. And sign is this. This is my husband, Daryl.
How you doing? My pleasure. How you
nice
doing?
Nice to meet you.
My
Good,
son,
good.
Jalen.
Jalen, got the ball in your hand. Good man.
And my daughter, Cheryl. And she got one of
Well,
her
you got
hands.
well, you got the wrong color of ball. It used to be purple.
Oh,
No.
she brought that in there, didn't she?
I played for Kansas. You're doing the right thing.
I'm just giving you all
I know it.
yeah.
Maggie too. Her at K-State. I let them see
Oh,
me
wow.
travel in the gym.
Excellent.
So I work for the city there. So
In Indianapolis?
yes. Yes.
I fly in and out of there regularly. My
Yeah.
wife's family lives.
The athletic director out of high school. Has been for several years.
I remember those pictures that are in our book is when me and Shay and all those posts.
Right here at the stairs.
Sure, we had we went and got little warm-up suits and light.
Volleyball's practicing. The boys come on in.
How's your day going?
And then wasn't just one set of stairs, Cheryl. We went up the stairs, go across, and down the stairs. one lap up the stairs. I know. All I saw was you strutting across, and I'm like, that's Tammy.
You had just left my office when she came walking up and introduced herself.
I'm good.
This is my husband, Daryl.
How you doing? My pleasure to meet you. All right. how you
Nice to
doing?
I used to
meet you.
babysit some of Tammy's.
The little one.
Yeah, the little one. He's
He's
probably
gonna
not
be
anymore.
30.
No.
He's gonna be 30.
I was gonna say it's been 30 years actually. That's my son Jalen
Hey,
Jalen.
Jalen. Nice to meet you.
and my daughter Cheryl.
Cheryl. Hey. When I first met your mom, boy, she was sassy. Has that changed?
I guess I'm still saying
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I had to get places, had things to do.
Had things to do, places to
That's right.
places to be, and people to go see.
That's right.
Oh, that's got to be funny.
Oh yeah, I had to.
And you'll be here tonight? Or when
I probably will now, but I just heard about it.
I
So
just told her. It starts at 6 o'clock. Lunch is at 7:30, 7:45.
No, 8, 10, and 15.
I've been to every one of them.
I'm telling you, I've seen skip. Starts at 6, goes to about 8.
Cheryl, I didn't see you tonight. I've got to go. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Hi.
Alrighty.
Holy smoke, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You still look good. You still look the same.
You look good too.
I about ran your wife over in the car last night.
I heard that.
He's the athletic director and his head baseball coach. He basically did it all.
Oh,
he probably
okay.
could have coached us too, but it just would have been too much to deal with the girls.
Multi-purpose, man.
I could have coached
He
you. I
really
tried to
was.
get her to play shortstop for me.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Okay. You see the
And she
advantages.
also was one of our. I started my wife and I ran the dorm, so
Yeah.
I started the RA system. And
Okay.
she was one of my first resident assistants
Oh, cool.
in the dorm. So
Cool.
I
So she's
trusted
a
her from the
pioneer
get-go.
over
So
here.
she pulled the wool over my eyes early. Who we got here?
This is my son Jalen.
Jalen, that's close to Galen.
Yeah.
I like you already. You left-handed? Oh, man.
But he
Look
does
at
them
that.
both. He
Oh,
does them both.
well, I figured that.
And this is my daughter Cheryl.
Cheryl,
She plays basketball too, and volleyball, and runs track. And
have a seat,
We
kids.
do it all.
Have a
We
seat.
do it all.
Come on in.
Thank you.
I said, I ran
Debbie
into Debbie.
goes.
I had just called you
She
20
called.
minutes before I ran into her. I'm not kidding.
She said, because we didn't hook up till like almost 7:30. Where you been? I said, well, when did you start carrying? You know me. I'm not quite as honored as you, but she said, you're not going to believe who I ran into. And I started guessing. And then she said, Cheryl, I said, are you kidding me? I said, your family there? She said, yeah. I said, where? She said, at Walmart. I said, how long are they here? Do I need to go somewhere? She goes, no, they're coming. I said, holy smoke. So I was excited that you're here and that you stopped by. And then, of course, Virginia, you know.
She went and called and told it was supposed to be a surprise.
She called, yeah, but she was wanting to make sure I didn't leave for lunch.
Oh, okay.
Which, you know, you should have come here first.
Well, you know, I didn't know how to get to the daggone place. This is all new to me.
Yeah,
Last
it is.
I know, your office was right off the gym
In a little hole.
in a little bitty corner that was probably about the size
That's
of this.
about right.
That's all I remember. And so when they said,
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing
Are
great.
you coaching?
I'm coaching. That's why I don't have a voice. I'm coaching her, and I just got I work for the city of Indianapolis with Indy Parks and Recreation, and I also assistant coach her AAU and travel ball, and I'm now the head 8th grade girls coach for Lyndhurst, where the school he goes to, the 7th and 8th grade school.
And you look like a player too, huh? Can you deal? How old are you? 13.
His birthday's Monday. He'll be 14 on Monday.
You look like your mama. And I'm going to tell you something. I've said this millions of times because I've been here forever. This is my 32nd year, but you know how many times I've talked about your mom? Probably should be arrested. You know what? She's Well, you know her. She's a great lady, good person, and boy, she's one of the best basketball players I've seen here. You know, and don't take this wrong, but she could play with any guy back in the day.
And that's what I did. I had to play with the guys.
So, and I believe I did ask her to come out and play shortstop, but
He
she
really did.
thought I was joking.
And I'm like, I don't play baseball.
Yeah, that's just about the way she
And
said
that's
it.
exactly what I said. I said, I don't play baseball.
But well, good for you. So, my gosh, you look great.
Thank
Oh yeah.
Keep going up. Right there.
That's a nice picture with
Is that the current one?
the dunking.
That's not the most, but at least it goes down to where no one's gonna know this is happening. Now we're gonna announce. So I need, before you leave here, I want you, before she leaves, I want you, did you meet Cheryl? Okay. When we
Since you
go,
lost last year?
and
Well, they
he
cheated on it.
Yeah, they did.
But we got
So
it back
they
this
got me
year.
covered.
Okay.
They're basketballers.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to film. We're not going to say a word. When I go out to center court or wherever we start from, she's going to shoot my layup. He's going to shoot the three-pointer, and Cheryl's got the free throw. And I'm going to rebound for him, and I'm going to be smiling as I watch them put the president away. Okay? Here's a little bit better itinerary.
Okay.
You can see where we're at, just about 6:30. So just be there for the whole thing.
We'll Cheryl.
So she's off.
That's a big ball.
We're gonna win it.
There you go. There you go. Nothing's changed.
Guys are good.
And as soon as I hand the ball, here we go. Go. And you start, how much do you make when you start shooting?
Say, and you're done.
Let's do it again.
First try. First try.
Well, here in Stewart County, Lady Saints basketball. Complete surprise. Didn't know she was coming. Didn't know she was going to be here at all. We saw her in the gyms. Unbelievable. Cheryl Jackson, she was here. She was from Indianapolis. She played here in 83 to 85. 83 to 85. They didn't do a very good job of keeping records back then, but I'm telling you, like going back in a few of the record books we have, Cheryl would be the school's all-time leading scorer, hands down. Scored over 40 a couple times. Unbelievable player. She was somebody that, if you guys talked to Coach Reed, you knew Coach Reed on the men's team when he was there. Cheryl was one of the few girls that was allowed to play pickup with the guys all the time back then. This is back in the 80s. They wouldn't let them. They let Cheryl every time. And I've seen some pictures of when she played. And back when she played, I mean, Lady Saint basketball just kind of finally started getting going. And people started out coming watching games because of Cheryl Jackson. Okay, she could jump. I'm not joking. When she shot a jump shot, her feet were 35 to 40 inches off the ground. She's an unbelievable athlete. She played here, and she played at KU, and she left here. So, Cheryl, say what you want to say to these girls.
Hi everyone. I tell you what, I love your energy out there. I don't know if it's Coach Toby that does it, but I love your energy that I saw out there. And you got your new assistant basketball coach, and she's got a lot of energy from being a ex-ball player, but one of the things I can tell you being here at Seward, and I've come back, it's been 30 years, of course you guys wouldn't even thought of, but it's been 30 years. Actually, it's been probably about 26 or so since I've been back, but 30 years since I played here. And one of the things that brings me back, for me coming a 21-hour drive, a 23-hour drive from Indianapolis to here, which is what we did back there because we didn't have much money, we would drive, is the hospitality that Liberal Kansas has given me. Family, Coach Reed, so I mean, really started off with Galen McSpadden, and he and I, he's now the athletic director. He became the athletic director my second year here, but just the love and the family and they put their hands out to us. A lot of things that you guys have now, we didn't have. It started when we came here. I mean, the girls' record when I first came here, the previous years before I came here, it was 0-26. They didn't win a game in almost 7 or 8 years until we came in 1983. Me and I think 2 other girls from Indianapolis that I talked to come, a few from Oklahoma and Texas, and the teams, you know, when you got a team that hadn't won a game in 5 or 6 years, you know what the other teams that's going to play against you now, you're going to keep their ass in, right? That's what they thought until they got on the floor with us. But it all came with just a lot of dedication and just working really hard. And my practice didn't end at 4 o'clock. Even though I had a few night classes, I always had a ball in my hand because that was my love. It was my love. I could say from my daughter's age, who now plays ball, and she's talking about her already, to even now. I mean, I just love the game. And what I'm seeing now, because I'm coaching in Indianapolis, I don't see a lot of love for the game. I see a lot of light for the game, but I don't see the love and I don't see the passion. And you know, your coach is the only one that can tell you, he can probably point out every last one of you, which one has the love, which one has the light, and which one has the passion. I had the passion and I had the love because you couldn't keep a ball out of my hand. Even if I'm laying in the old dorms and I'm just laying back just shooting it. No one was ever allowed to sit in the Coach Reed's practice, ever. Am I right or wrong? I used to sneak in and sit all the way at the top of the stands and then just watch the things that they would do. And then after they would leave, I would get out there and practice the things that they would do. Because they had a coach. In my years when I played, physically we had a coach, but we really didn't have a coach. And they made comments about me being the coach, and I'm like, I wasn't the coach. I'm sure you actually had anything like that, brother. I don't know that. I just played. I had the leadership to do it. I had the desire to do it. I had the passion to do it, and I just did it. A lot of times I never even knew how well I played. Till people come up and tell me, I was in the newspaper, and I'm still humble about it because I'm like, did I really? He would say, well, you know, sure, we had some house in the books, and you did this. Did I really? Because I just was out there playing. I like your little spunk. I saw you out there, and I had my daughter, I said, look how she gets in front of the ball. That's what I'm teaching her to do. Because she's really, really, really quick for her age to really get in front of the ball. They said, well, you gotta stop it. Big girl, come here. Come here, please.
6'6".
I know how tall you are. Listen to this man. I mean, he's not on you because he wants to be on you, but oh my goodness. There's not any of your players, I don't care how good they are, none of them should get a shot off over you. But you got to have the heart to do it. And you shouldn't have any yelling at you to do it. You should want to do it. You should have that in your heart and in your mind that you know no one can stop you, but you're able to stop them. And I say that not to be arrogant, because I was the very first one, I'm thinking in Kansas or even in Seward County, that was all Region 6 as a freshman and a sophomore here and was picked to play in the All-Star game. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm coming from Indiana, I don't know all this stuff, but what's the NJCAA and what's the all Region 6? The All-Star game, and there were girls from everywhere. I'm not just talking about from Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas. I'm talking about from Mississippi, from New Orleans, from from everywhere that I actually had to play against. And the only thing I did, I sat when we was in Hutchinson, Kansas. I sat and I just, probably about 10 minutes before we got, I just watched the other team. It was the East against the West. And I think I was on the West. And I just sat and just watched the point guards for probably 2 or 3 minutes. And I figured out quickly what the weakness was. And that's how sometimes you just sit back and watch. And that's what I did when I played with the guys. I sit and watch some of the things that they can do, and I try to perfect what they did, like a ball handling drill or a move or whatnot, and just picked it up. And then I find myself by myself practicing it. Then I got my teammates saying, "Cheryl, can you teach me how to do that?" I said, "You gotta just watch me. I can't teach you because you don't have everything that I have, and I don't have what you have, but you can watch me and you can try it." Because that's what I did. I watch the guys and I get out and try it. You understand what I'm saying? You guys got to have a little bit more heart. I mean, what's your record? What was your record last year, Coach?
23-8.
You guys think you can do better this year?
Yeah.
You didn't sound like it.
Yeah.
You think you can do better this year?
Yeah.
How do you think you're going to get it done? First got to push yourself. You can't say you can push your teammate if you can't push yourself. And that's where it starts with everybody individually, and that's what I did. I did it with really no help. But I just wanted to be good. Not knowing that I was going to be as good as I was, but I loved the game so much I just got out there and just did things. I was sneaking the coach Reed's practice. And he didn't even know that until we talked about it yesterday. I said, "Yeah, I used to sit at the top." He said, "No, you didn't." I said, "Yes, I did. You just didn't know I was there." And I used to watch Gardner and those guys, and I remember a move he would do. He would take the ball and take it through his legs and pull up on somebody. He would split the defense. You know, you always say, don't ever try to split the defense. You always try to take one person. A little Gardner, couldn't stand that little guy on that team. He was about this tall, but he was quick as all get out. He was really, really strong. And I just seen him, he would just fake and take that ball through his legs and just pull up. I was like, well, how did he do that? And I watched him do it again. He'd fake go with the left hand and go up and shoot. And after they practice, I just went out there and practiced. And the next thing you know, I promise you, I did it in the game, didn't even know I did it. Because it came natural.
Are you ready, Saints fans? Yeah! Let's cheer it on! Start the music, let's go! Start dribbling! Start dribbling. Wait a open ball injury. Taking his place tonight will be the woman who held the Lady Saints all-time scoring record from 1985 to 1995. Cheryl Jackson! Cheryl Jackson Newsom and her children, Cheryl and Jalen, will be taking part challenging Dr. Dwayne Dunn. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for this Saint Hall of Famer. All right, here's how it works, Dr. Dunn. You'll be down here on the west end, and Cheryl will be on the east end. Again, if you start off at the free throw line, you make a layup, then a free throw, then a three-pointer, and the first one to win is the winner, which makes sense. All right, here we go. To the free throw line. Go ahead, both of you together, same time. There we go. All right, Saints fans. Now, when I say go, you make the free throw. No, first you make the layup, then the free throw, then the three-pointer. Okay? Are we ready? Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go! Cheer on, Saints fans.
lost to Teresa Witherspoon in my few points. And we felt that we had to go there to the Sweet 16.
That's good. Nice. Sweet. There you go.
I helped recruit Cheryl Johnson, who lives in Gary, Indiana. Talked her into coming here. Shannon Kite.
Finding all your teammates, sir?
Yeah, there I am right there. To go, Event I. Trying to find Lynn. There's Lynn Page. Devin Richardson. Misha Slaughter. There's Lynette Woodard, who recruited me and awarded me my MVP award in the All-Star game. I was here at that time. It's the 50th anniversary.
I'm gonna tell this story about
Kind of like
how you got here.
somehow I got here, and it's how I got to Kansas. Of course, it started at Seward County Community College, and I played in the All-Star game in Hudson, Kansas, and Lynette Woodard. I was the MVP in the All-Star game in the National Junior College All-Star game. Lynette Woodard presented me my MVP award, which was a watch that I still have, of course. I don't wear it; it stays in the case. And because Seward had done such a great job with me and treated me like family when I was there, I just decided, regardless of all the letters that I got from numerous colleges, I wanted to stay in Kansas so that they could probably come and see me play and things like that. And something that Coach probably doesn't know, I flipped a coin.
No, you didn't.
I promise you. I flipped a coin, and because I was wanted to stay in Kansas, I flipped a coin between Kansas State and University of Kansas. And it doesn't say one was better than the other. I mean, Coach and I talked for hours on the phone. I had a wonderful meeting here when I came here, but it was just so difficult. And just like it was in high school, I didn't have the guidance to help me make a decision. I didn't have I didn't have a coach at Seward County that would say, you know what, this is best for you or anything like that. So I basically, being 19, well 20 at the time, didn't know what to do, and I literally flipped a coin. And it flipped for Kansas State. I said, yeah, it did, but I kept doing it. I was like, okay, heads for Kansas State, tails for Kansas. Flipped and went for Kansas State. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it again. I think I flipped about 5 times.
No
Something
way.
kept going. Honest to God, I'm not lying. And the daggone thing, and I ended up picking to go to Kansas State, all because of the flip of a coin.
Oh my God.
About 4 or 5 times. So this is something that she never knew.
No, I didn't.
Wow.
But how I got to University of Kansas was the heart that she had for, I guess, for just kids in the game. I mean, for me to flip a coin and not go to KU in the beginning, and she accepted me after I made that terrible decision to Kansas State. I think I called Kansas. I called Coach. I still had her home number in my phone book, and I called her here at home, and it might have been about close to 12 o'clock in the morning. And I called her from Manhattan, Kansas, and I was crying on the phone. Do you remember all that?
Oh yeah.
And I just told her the situation on how I felt like I was being mistreated. It was, to me, because I've never had to go through anything like that before. It was kind of a racial thing, and you know, and I remember Coach just saying, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And she says, I remember you saying, it's the one thing I have to do. As soon as we get off the phone, I have to call NCAA to let them know that I contacted you.
Right.
because she's a by the book person. I do that now, and I'm like, okay, because I don't understand all the rules, but she had to call NCAA to let them know that I did contact her. I was thinking about transferring and things like that. And in the long run, Kansas State would not release my transcript for me to come to the other side, to KU. And so I went to school in the Ozarks for a semester, which made them release my transcript and took away a whole semester for me to be able to play for Coach Washington. But she accepted me regardless of my faults for flipping the coin, and that's why I consider myself Lady J-Hawk.
That's right, well you are. When I saw your mom play, she truly was one of the best players I had ever seen. Great quickness, her ability to score, but more importantly, such a wonderful, wonderful young person. You know, it's very hard for me still, when I talk to y'all, I still got you as my player.
I know, that's why I'm still calling you coach.
Yeah. So when I watched her play, I thought, oh yeah, she really, she's exactly the kind of player that that I liked, and I knew I was perfect for her. I knew it. You know, there's no question. I knew you were going to fit in just fine. I knew we would be able to relate to each other based on your background and everything. I just knew you were a perfect fit. So I was pretty much shocked when you chose Kansas State. But anyway, so when you decided to go to Kansas State, I thought, okay, well, good luck. But I knew in my heart that it wasn't going to work out for you. Yeah. I knew that, you know, because I knew what Kansas State was all about. So when Cheryl called me, there was just no question. I wanted to definitely help her get away from Kansas State and certainly in our program, and never regretted it. You're a Jayhawk, always will be. And I like the fact that it's a very unique situation. You know, everybody's got a story to tell.
Yeah.
You know, and yours is different than anyone else's, and you end up in the family. You know, so it's beautiful to me, and I'm really thankful. But I was definitely, the only thing that really upset me was when they didn't release your transcript, because I felt like they took from you an opportunity, you know, to experience more of the game. But apart from that,
and that was what was even more hurtful and painful, is that for them to tell me that I owed, for Kansas State to tell me that I owed them money when I was on a full scholarship. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, very much so.
A full scholarship is just what it says. Yeah. We're paying for everything. And they would not release my transcript because they said I owed them money.
It was terrible. Yeah, it really was. But
that,
they did that, you know, and but we got the best of the deal in the end. It was a struggle, but we hung in there.
Respect that. I still have the article that I blew up that talks about the former Kansas K-Stater playing against Kansas State. The new Kansas player playing against her former school, Kansas State, and it was a pretty big article. Only thing I disliked about the article, it portrayed that the reason I wasn't playing was because of my grades, and that was never true.
At Kansas State, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was never. I never had bad grades.
No.
So, but they had to put something in there to make them look good.
Oh yeah.
And it was never my grades.
You were extremely smart and still are, of course, but they just, you know, it wasn't a good fit for you. I knew it, and you knew it real quick.
Yeah.
You know, so it was.
And just being young, and again not having any guidance, same way it was when I left high school. I didn't have. I mean, I was getting letters from everywhere, but I didn't know what letter of intent was. I didn't know I needed to sign by a certain date or anything like that. So, not being 18 at the time and no adult supervision when it comes to your high school coaches and things. I didn't have that. I didn't. And then when I left Seward County, it was basically the same way. I didn't have a coach
anyone that would
say, you know what, Cheryl, this is what I know about Kansas, and this is what I know about Kansas State. of course, they're telling me that afterwards.
After the fact.
But I didn't have that in the process. And I mean, and you know, I think back as like, well, I guess everything happens for a reason. But I still felt had I had the proper guidance, I would not have flipped a coin. Really, I did flip a coin.
Wow.
She was working for the Parks Department, and I was just going in the facility just to, work out and whatnot. And she was working with the coordinator. A program coordinator.
I was a program designer. I designed programs through different.
I remember because I would still talk with you after you got back home, and I thought to myself when she told everybody she was getting married, I thought you had to be somebody special because Cheryl was on the move. I mean, this is someone, from my perspective, was a very conscientious young person, smart, but she wasn't going to put up with a whole lot, and you were going through some stuff, if I remember correctly.
With the Parks Department.
Exactly. And so when I found out that she was going to settle down and start her family, I thought that this guy had to be really, really special to be able to lasso her in, you know what I mean? So that's great. I'm just so happy. And then you started having children. I thought, oh my God,
Jalen.
Yes, it's just amazing.
I think we bought. Daryl came down when you had your one of your biggest ones, I believe. What was it, Daryl? Alumni.
It was alumni, yeah. It was before we had gotten married.
Yeah, you met him before.
Before you actually tied the knot.
Yeah, you had met me before.
Sure he came with everybody.
Oh my
I remember bringing him in, and we were there. We had the scrimmage game.
Yep.
Right, and I think
they didn't have anything like that since.
And they
really?
That was the biggest one. And
wow, because that was that was a lot of people. Yeah.
Because it's not the same if Coach wasn't there. And so
it's never been the same.
Because that was that year. I think Paul Pierce was here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
Still.
I think Tamika Dixon came.
Tamika Dixon was there. Yeah.
I still have the picture.
And I beat her in the 3-point shoot contest.
Yeah.
So we all didn't lose at all.
Oh my goodness.
Sure did. I don't know if you was if you recorded that or not, but I remember beating her in the 3-point shoot contest, and she wasn't too happy.
I bet she wasn't.
Carrying the title that she's WNBA. We old school. I wasn't missing anything. And I remember you, Coach. You was like, "Shoot it, Cheryl."
I'm telling you.
I remember
my God. I remember when the chancellor was sitting there, and I was telling him about every one of you, and he was sitting beside me for a period, and he said later he said that he was shocked to know that I knew so much about my former players and what they were doing.
Does he not know that we contacted?
They're different. They're just all different,
Yeah.
So, but I was so proud of y'all. You were just, and very classy. Cheryl, definitely very, very classy. And when you think about your sisterhood and everybody that's been a part of it, most of you, especially those of you of color, most of you are very bright, very conscientious, ambitious. I mean, so many went on to get master's degrees, even Stacy. Stacy Truitt.
Yeah, she's still here.
Stacy has brought her home in Kansas City. Now, Stacy tells a story because I got her out of Mississippi.
Is that where she's from?
Mm-hmm. And they told me don't go back there.
Oh wow!
When I got her, pulled her out of there. They said don't come back here because they wanted her to go to those
Ole Miss and all. Yeah.
But Stacy chose to come. But Stacy, she had lots of things going on with her life, and so she played for me for 2 years, and then she just felt like she just couldn't do it anymore. And that was difficult because she was certainly an asset to our team. And so what Stacy talks about is that, she came back to me after she quit the team And I decided that as long as she kept her grades up, I was going to go ahead and let her finish up. Because the ultimate goal was for everybody to get their degree.
Yeah.
Whether you played or you didn't play, as long as you respected that. And so she talks about that, you know. And so she just brought her home.
Did she really?
Just brought her first home. Yeah.
For Stacy.
So,
Wow.
I said we kind of talk on Facebook once in a while.
Yeah.
So I'm not on it like everybody else.
I'm not either. And then and of course, you know, you've been at Vet's house, right? Yeah.
She's doing well.
Yeah.
I admire Yvette for what she does as far as taking care of her family, her extended family.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody would do that. Not everybody could do that, and she does it like it's just, and she's supposed to. You know, like Coach McSpadden said in Liberal, Kansas, he said it's just part of the plan. You know, whether we know it or not, things that happen is part of the plan. He also said something that was very profound, that, you know, we're not here on earth for ourselves. We're actually here for someone else and to do for others, not to do for ourselves.